pretty excited. It's starting a family, so it's something I wanted to do. There's not really an ideal time when you're an athlete, so it's easier if you're a male athlete. You can sort of start one at any time, but being a female athlete, there's not really a good time. So it was a little bit stressful, just having to tell sponsors and races and friends and things like that, because with what we do, your life isn't very private, and I'm a pretty private person. I get excited because I'm looking forward to getting back into racing shape really fast and just getting back out there again and racing. So I just find this to be a minor little delay, and I think it brings different challenges, so that you need different challenges to get you excited about it and get you going.
I found out in a really, probably the worst possible way. I got an email from my agent that was sent to everybody in the industry, and I received the email about an hour before I had to give a presentation to 300 salespeople at this power bar convention in Colorado Springs. I'm afraid that if I get up, I might actually break down in front of 300 people. The next day I went to the airport. I spent 9 hours at the Denver airport just sitting around because I didn't want to go back to Tucson. I was totally lost. I just hung around an airport for 9 hours, and by the time I got to Tucson, I was a little bit better. I kind of needed to be lost in this place that everybody's going somewhere, and I just wanted to be nowhere.
In the life cycle of other triathletes, I'm classed as one of the young guys, I guess. Being 25 at the moment, you're generally in the long course to reach your peak between 30 and 35 years of age.
Luke's got everything to prove. I mean, he's done nothing in the sport now. He hasn't won an Ironman race yet.
He's like the kid in 8th grade that they take on the bus to high school to take advanced classes, because he's going to school with Peter Reed. He's going to school with Tim DeBoom. He's going to school with Simon Lessing. You know, and he's just a little kid.
To be here because the energy is always good and positive, so it's fun to be part of the excitement. But I know Sunday is going to be hard. I'm going to be jealous of everybody out there, so that'll be really hard to watch.
Here in Australia, Ironman Australia is the last race of the season, so for Australians, they're really getting ready for this race, and they usually find that the elite guys are in peak shape. The Australians are doing very well here, obviously with Chris McCormack winning 3 in a row. But hopefully this year we'll see a close race between Luke Bell and also Chris Lee. So it's going to be 3 Aussies probably going at it at the front. So it'll be very interesting to see how it all goes.
This is normally my time off, being home, and everyone else is normally racing flat out the Australian summer. But I guess unfortunately I can't do that because you can't back-to-back seasons, our summer and then back over to the US for the summer it just drains the body too much, so I've normally had time off. But this year's been a little different. I've planned it out, so I've been able to do Ironman Australia, kick off the season, and then I'll probably have a small break mid-year and refreshen up, and then everything geared towards Kona.
I woke up in the morning and felt really good. Everything went pretty well. It was pretty low-key, just with the family at home. It was nice and relaxing. Got to the transition, and you go through your normal routine, make sure your bike, everything's laid out okay, and then I guess you head off and try and find somewhere nice and quiet to focus on what you got to do during the day. It's a long day, and you know you got to go through a lot of pain. Into the water, I felt great during the swim warm-up. Gun went off, and I don't know, it felt really hard. It took a long time to get into a rhythm. I'm generally a good swimmer, so if I have a bad swim day, I generally come out with the main pack, head out on the bike, and first bit of the bike's always bridge any gaps that you've got to get. Everything went pretty according to plan. We just set a nice steady pace and slowly pulled away from everybody. got off the bike, coming up into town, back through town, the legs felt really good, and I was pretty excited about having a really good day. Ran into the tent, felt really good, got changed, ran out of the tent, and then within a kilometre, it was, you know, if you're going to have a good day or a bad day. And it was pretty much pain. It was a hell. It was one of those days where you just run from aid station to aid station. Overall, I'm wrapped with coming second to Macca, but obviously you come here to win the race, and you're pretty disappointed. I guess as soon as you crossed the line, I was pretty disappointed. I guess not only for myself, but pretty much for everyone else that's helped me out. We set a goal to come here and win it, and unfortunately it didn't happen. But on the day, you're beaten by a better athlete, and I know that I gave everything I could out there to try and win it. There's a lot of positives to walk away from.
And it was just a matter of pretty much gritting the teeth and hanging on. It was one of those days where it definitely hurt.
The 23rd annual Jamagee's Wildflower Triathlon Festival is now the largest triathlon festival in the world. There'll probably be 9,000 people competing in this two-day event of racing. It has become known as the Woodstock of triathlon.
Here at Wildflower, it's amazing. It really is all about the atmosphere. Because everybody comes in here and has to stay here, they either camp, they're staying in trailers, they have motorhomes. It's a whole community just developed around the triathlon.
I guess it's a bit scary coming into this weekend. I've had one solid week of training, so coming in here probably a little bit underdone from what you'd normally like.
Well, training in Tucson was going really well, and I went and did this gig in LA for a couple of days, and that was going pretty good. And then I actually was really anxious to get home, and I didn't do the smartest thing. I basically drove through the night, and it really wore me out. I was worn out for a couple of days, and training wasn't going that great afterwards. So my confidence went from super high going into this race to I don't know how I'm going to do.
You know, everything, my health is fine, my injury is good, and I feel good. You know, I don't feel like I am 100% where I need to be as far as being race ready, but it's still early, so it's fine. I feel like I'm where I need to be for Wildflower.
I got in the water. I knew the swim was going to be an issue. Swimming hasn't been going that well this year. I knew I was going to be in the second half.
The swim is always sort of the most intense part for me, and the part that I don't look forward to very much. And it lived up to its expectations. It was a little rough at the start.
Started the bike and felt pretty good. There's a really steep hill at the beginning. By the time I got to the top and I got in my arrow position, something didn't feel right. The power just wasn't there. Like I was digging so deep just to try and keep up with these guys that I was starting to get spots in front of my eyes. And I actually pulled over and sat on the side of the road just to get my breath back. And then at that point, I was like, no, that's it.
I was very happy with my bike ride. You know, I can usually tell right away how I'm going to feel on the bike, and today I felt good. I was able to push some bigger gears on the flats and things, which was, you know, something in the past that's been a problem for me. So I was really happy with it. Everything felt good. The bike felt great, and it all worked well. So yeah, the bike was probably the highlight.
Yeah, today was one of those days where you knew it wasn't going to be a great day. It was more of an appearance. You turn up, you see your sponsors. It's good to catch up with everyone.